Interpol.
Then a lot of good conduct. If you are a wanted person by the police, they must be wanting you for a reason. But how do you get onto this watch list? Incidents happen. Okay? Burglaries have happened. Fingerprints have been picked. DNA has been picked. Whatever, tire marks, shoe marks. But all those things are pointing to a common modus operandi. However, that common modus operandi, one day we get a hit on our database with the DNA, B fingerprints, and we identify Kent. We're like, In the other matter, we don't have sufficient information. We know there was a burglary, but nobody ever saw Kent in that area. And even the technical evidence may not put you at the scene. Okay? Because your phone, you left it at home, you just walked, robbed the person, walked back. But you left your biological material, whatever you left behind, we are able to link it later to you through a series of other things. For example, we are here, and please, listeners, don't begin running away from policemen. But this is police work. But it's possible with what we call, I talked about it as forensic intelligence. So I can come to Kent, and through other means, because I suspect him of having committed the other offense, but I can even take him out for a drink. So using that, I can use that piece of material which he has shared with me, maybe at home, and I can go and examine it. So I can now know that the one we have been looking for is this Kent man. Now we put him on our watch list. Say, watch him. Because we know crime is also a career.
Yes.
So because that is his career, he is going to likely commit another offense. So we wait for him.
When he does,
When he commits the next one, we are on top of him. And now we say, by the way, there's also the other one. And now we can link the two scenes together through technical means and say, because the technical means linked to the other scenes, we are likely to have been the one also committed the other one.
Wow.
So that is how you get onto the watch list. Now, for us, we give what we call a police clearance certificate. Then later we transmit to Interpol to give a certificate of good conduct. So ours to give the information we have. So anybody who interacts with the police and is put in custody, we have to document them. How do we document people? We take their photographs, take their fingerprints, and their names. So when you come and ask us for information about this person, we give you the information. So and so arrested on drink driving, case put out, or whatever it is. Why is it important for the country to record this information? For example, you have a maid. You have a maid.
yes.
Do you know where that maid came from?
Yes.
Maybe because you got her from the village or him or whatever it is.
It doesn't matter. We have to do background checks.
Yes, but you do it on your own.
Yes.
Or let me give you an example. Somebody walks up to your door and knocks on the door and says, I'm from National Water. How do you know it's from National Water?
Check identity.
Yeah, you check the identity, but if I
Yes.
forge the identity from National Water.
No, today.
So now we are developing tools to that end that we need to have our services also closer to the people. In that I can query the police system for the purposes of me satisfying myself that whoever I'm dealing with is a genuine person. Even a simple thing like buying a car. Are you buying a car which is not stolen? What if it was reported by the police having been stolen? So traffic is also collecting that data. So all that information now comes together. So for us in the forensics, we now have the records of people who have interacted with the police for whatever issues there. So tomorrow when somebody comes and asks who is doing a vetting, maybe you're going to work in a bank or somewhere, somebody will say, tell us about this person. So we give a police clearance certificate which talks about this person's interaction with the police. If there's nothing, we say there's nothing. If there's something, we tell you what it is and how it was disposed of. But also there is another interesting one which I always say. For example, if you're a person who was a businessman and you have opened up a factory to make safes, you're a person who manufacture safes.
Yeah.
So you want to test whether your product is good. Which kind of person are you going to look for? So if you are looking for certificate of good conduct, say, tell us about this person, and then the document says, man was a burglar, serial burglar. Maybe that's the person you're looking for. Because you want information from the police that actually this person has been a serial burglar, so you're saying, let me get this serial burglar so that I improve my product. It looks funny, but that's what it is. In other words, what you're saying is that the police deals in information, and ours is to give you the information that you have requested. As long as you
Actually, conclusively on that, it simply tells us everyone is important in society.
yes.
Yeah.